Hi, guys. This is Kira's grandma, and I just want to let you know that she's so excited and so happy, and you guys have just made their day. They really deserve this great getaway that they're going to be able to afford now that they couldn't have before. So you guys are a blessing to my granddaughter, and she is just over the moon. So thank you so much for doing this for her. We appreciate you guys. Bye-bye.
This is the What Podcast. Outside, the air is rain. Some of you are getting ice and sleet. We have a fire going upstairs. We're warm. We're hunkered down. I don't have to work tomorrow because of this. It's a pretty good day. How are you guys?
I'm doing well. Finally.
Great. Yeah, it's a great day.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Brian.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the 2/3 of the country is under some kind of winter advisory. It's not just us down here in the South. And as seems to be, it's not always. We get plenty of snow. People's memories are bad. But it does seem like oftentimes it hits everywhere except for right here in the valley.
And I'm fine with that. I'm good with it.
I'm wonderful with it. I'm wonderful with it. But it's cold, sleet, and it's no reason to go outside. So, yeah, it is a cozy, comfortable temperature in my home as well, too. So
we have a lot to talk about. We've got our winner. We'll get to that. We will announce our giveaway, our ticket winner. I feel really good about who we chose. You guys happy?
Yeah, I'm happy with the whole thing. I'm happy with how it all came together, and really appreciate everybody having such enthusiasm and such creativity in the entire process.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a tough decision. We deliberated over it for a while. There was a ton of entries this year, way more than we've ever had.
Way more.
And a lot of people that truly deserve this. I mean, so, just because we didn't pick you per se, it doesn't mean anything about, that you didn't deserve it. But I do want to mention real quick, Totem is looking to send, they do scholarships, and they do, this is exactly what they do. People that want to go to a festival, maybe they've never been, can't afford it, can't make it work. They offer tickets and they offer resources and stuff like that to get people on the farm. And they're trying to, they're raising a lot of money. They're trying to get more applicants. And so, if you didn't win our contest, check them out and, apply through them. They might work something out. So,
yeah, Totem, it's TOTEM.
TotemFND.org is
correct.
Their website.
Go to that. It's our friends Daniel and Charla. Brian, how you feeling?
Pretty good, actually. Yeah, sorry I missed you guys last week, and appreciate the church boner guys coming in out of the bullpen at the last minute. But this is news to me. I'm a relatively healthy guy after all the disastrousness I've treated myself over my first 20 years of my adult life. A grown-ass man or a grown-ass woman with a debilitating ear infection? I thought those things happen to kids and to like 10-year-olds and 7-year-olds and maybe even a teenager. This thing's no joke. Any experience with such things, either of you two, in your adulthood?
Not like what sounds like you
I've
had.
never had it either as an adult or a kid. So
I didn't have them as kids either. When I was growing up, I was always hearing about all the ear infections, especially the swimmer's ears, right? Everybody.
Yeah.
I had those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had lots of friends who would get ear infections all the time
I
as
had
kids.
those
Yeah.
bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, this one just shows up out of nowhere, and it heals up pretty good, and went to an urgent care. And if I'm going to an urgent care, there's something going on. I don't believe those are even real doctors. And so,
and just to tell everybody, I went full dad on you last week because I was worried for you. I was like, dude, go see a doctor. Because, that's the kind of thing, if it gets really, really bad, you can lose your hearing. So,
well, it's funny you put it that way. So I'm about a week out of pain. So like I've taken all the antibiotics, an entire steroid pack, the whole deal. Sorry to give everybody the medical specifics of this. But what has not, the only reason to even talk about this other than, yeah, it was bad, now it's better, good to see you guys again, is that if, you know, the little earplugs that are made of foam, the little junky cheap ones that you'd rather have a nicer pair that does a little noise cancellation of sorts, not just he's shoving it in your ears. That's what it feels like in this ear still. I still don't have I've been saying about 30% hearing deficiency in this right ear, and it's now been 9 days. And for a minute, I started to think, "Oh no, I'm going deaf. Oh no, my livelihood." But by everything that Chat GPTs and the AI generated doctors and the WebMDs before that, which where we would all go to diagnose ourselves, everything is going right normal. And don't be concerned. And if another week rolls around and the hearing is still a problem, then go see a specialist. So that's where I'm at right now. It's not painful, but yeah, damn it, is it not? Every minute of my life, very, very annoyed. But happy to be back on the show with you.
You won't go to urgent care because they're not real doctors, but you'll trust Chat GPT and WebMD with your life, with your hearing. Okay.
Yeah. Google Doc.
Yeah.
I just okay, fair, right? Fair point. I'm not the smartest guy, right? I never try to pretend like that. I just, you know, I'm the typical guy that doesn't want to go to a doctor. Like, I'm just not going to go. I'll be fine. Except this pain was really, really bad, and it was really like sudden. And so I did go. I went twice. I went 2 times.
All right. Well, glad you're better. We got several things from the Bonnaroo universe that came our way this week, right? We got the after hours schedule. We also got a couple of
not a schedule, but we got the lineup.
The lineup, excuse me.
Yeah.
The lineup, and we got we got a couple of notes about how you can make money by referring a friend, basically. And which I found interesting, and I know we'll talk about that. So which one do you want to talk about first? The after hours?
Let's start with after hours.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's start with after hours. It feels a little bit to me that the after hours aren't going to be as full as with other themes of this Bonnaroo as it's been in the past, as far as how many they are, how late they might go. We won't know that till we get an actual schedule. But the names on a couple of these are pretty solid. I don't know half of them, but I mean, Turnstile, right? Start on a Friday. That seems to be one of the most popular acts of the year, and they're going to be late night on Friday. So that's a good place to start right there.
Yep. And Little John. I really want to see Little John.
Oh yeah, Little John.
That makes so much sense to do a Little John late night show. I'm pretty excited for that. Yeah.
Well, somewhere, and I don't like to wander too far into mocks, and pure nothing but rumors. I mean, we live in a rumor land, but that a Youngblood Witch Stage headline with Turnstile to follow for the late night is what some people are guessing and using as fodder online. Take that for what it's worth. That'd be one hell of a back-to-back on a Friday that I could get into. Like I could get into that, even though I want Youngblood on the what, because of course I do.
You're now the Youngblood #1 fan.
I'm the
Youngblood. Y'all are besties now.
It's my new obsession. Brad Snyder's got to hook me up with this guy. But so yeah, that would be pretty. Regardless of how that falls, that's going to be a good Friday. I mean, Friday is just shaping up to be quite nice. And then, I'll just quickly the one thing really, Saturday leaves a lot there for me to even know what I'm looking at, except for Weird Al, right?
Weird Al.
I know where Russ will be.
That's exactly where I'll be. Yeah.
Yeah. So Weird Al, I mean, that kind of feels like that's going to be a Witch Stage midnight to 2 kind of thing is what it feels like to me. I kind of hope, maybe I'm hoping that more than that's what I actually feel and believe. I don't know. What do you guys think on where Weird Al would fit best?
2 hours. I mean, he's definitely got enough material to fill
or
2
hour
hours.
Again. Whatever time frame it is, 90 minutes, hour.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see having the new stage over in the what field. I think they're going to utilize that differently than maybe we're even thinking about. Does that make sense?
I hope so, because I don't know what the hell it's doing over there.
Yeah.
So
I think
I
the
know
whole
what the
back and
story
forth-
is. I know what Tuba told me. I know what happened. But
Yeah.
I can't still understand why it's there. So I hope it's utilized differently, because if not, why move it? So that could be other than the reasons we know.
That's what I'm saying. I think there may be something happening that we don't know about, especially given the size of the crowd, which we sort of alluded to. I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to be very crowded. I think we're looking at a much smaller festival, which allows them to do some different things, like the what stage and the two stages, the other, or the not the that
Yeah.
stage.
I've come around to thinking that there is a good chance, and it's because of my trust in the organization, that this move will work.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean I'll like it better, but that it will work. And, as the what is releasing after a big night of show, because they've done late night on the what, but not usually. And, they usually closing it down 1 or 2
Right.
o'clock. By 2 o'clock, that thing's usually dark.
Right.
And I would bet that they'll pull that back even more. And so as you're leaving the what, whoever's playing, well, we'll just say Youngblood gets done, and then all of a sudden that is rocking as you start to leave. That might be a really good enhancement of crowd control, A, and B, just something neat to do, because it's on a heavily trafficked day, even on a low attendance year. I'm not saying that's guaranteed what we're getting, but even on a low attendance year, if you're leaving what and you want to go bounce around, you got a bunch of things you want to do, it's you're herded in and out of there. You might say, hey, that's right there. We'll just do this instead. Instead, it might work out quite well.
That's what I'm thinking, and I have absolutely no reason, other than just that's my thought. So
Yeah, same here. Again, it's the trust factor, but any other names on here that jumps off to you guys? Because it doesn't really me. This OCs band, OSEES. I've heard a lot of. So I apologize if I'm saying it wrong.
People have mentioned OCs and Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist ever since Beth mentioned them. I don't know, a month or so ago. I've checked them out. I like them a lot. So
okay, yeah, that's right. She did mention that.
Yeah.
No, we're going to do our deep dive. By the way, if you guys haven't listened, the Ruham guys did their mock draft, which is hilarious. It's always a great show. It's so much fun what they do.
Yeah, they did their Super Jam
draft. Yeah, it's
fantasy
a lot of fun.
draft. Yeah.
A lot of people have been a little disappointed that the Sarah Landry wasn't one of the late night after hours shows. She's played the Caverns here locally many times recently. And I think I mentioned on the show, the only reason I even can remember who this person is, I went to high school with a girl named Sarah Landry. So when I see, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Sarah Landry. But she's packing the amphitheater. For those that know, at the Caverns, she's filling the amphitheater.
Nice.
Filling the cave is one thing. Filling the amphitheater is another. And so there are a lot of people were a little disappointed that she might not be a late night, or it looks like she won't be, but certainly will be another stage act, because that's pure EDM. But I think it looks all right.
Maybe they'll listen to that and make some changes. It does say more late night acts to be announced, so there's a chance, I guess. That
What's your inclination as far as crowd? We don't like to do a lot of rumor and read the tea leaves type of stuff. We like to stick with facts. But what do you think? And I'm asking in particular because of the announcement this week that you could, refer a friend and make a little money type of thing. Sounds like they're trying to sell tickets.
Yeah, Taco, you want to start there and then I'll pick it up?
Yeah, if you're just going by the number of contest entries we got, it doesn't seem like it's going to be
I know, right?
lowly,
That's so weird.
It seems like there's a lot of hype for this year. But also, it seems like they announced this program kind of late, because I think a lot of people have already bought tickets, especially those that are the most interested in going. So, maybe you've already talked several friends into going and they bought tickets. Well, you missed out on, getting a referral because of, but who knows? Yeah, I don't know if this is an indication that ticket sales aren't going like they want them to, or I don't know.
It's impossible for me to not think so. It's
Yeah.
impossible for me to not think so. I'm not going to dwell on it and worry about it a whole lot
Right.
at this point, but it's impossible for me to not think that. And so there's a couple different layers here on the ticket sales that are giving me that impression. I still find it weird that there's an ethos of like one day ticket sales is bad, and people talk about this. I won't relitigate that, but they just announced that too here recently, is the one-day ticket sales, which I think we've been in agreement over the years. We think this is a very good addition. I wish they'd sell them from day one.
Yep.
I just think that's a Bonnaroo 4-day weekend is not for everybody. It's not for even a lot of people. But to go for a day, I've always thought one day would be a great deal, because they didn't do it for 17 years, 18 years. It was not available.
That's right.
And I always thought if you would sell 1 days, I know people back home that would come up and hang out for a day. But anyway, so that being announced late is one reason, but that's happened before. The other two here though are a little different. The you get your own code and a link and a QR code or whatever it is, and if someone buys a ticket, you get, I believe it's $20 festival cash.
$20,
I'm guessing that goes, on your wristband, and you buy stuff. So that's not nothing. It's not a whole lot, but it's not nothing. So that's one that's new. If they've done this before, I wasn't aware of.
No, I don't think they've ever done this.
Yeah, that one's completely new. This other one too, and this one makes even less sense to me, and I don't know what it means on the grand scale, but they're doing the 4- and 6-pack ticket sales now. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's also new, I think.
I've never seen this, so I'm believing it's brand new too. And so all these together are what is creating a lot of the, oh my God, ticket sales are down. Oh my God, ticket sales, But I would like to talk to the person who came up with this idea. To buy these 4- and 6-packs, you save $5. $5. I saw some people talking about it, and I went to the website as if I'm buying tickets, and I went and looked and pulled the dollars, did the math. You save $5. That is not a deal. I don't understand why this deal's there. Maybe there's something in a boardroom that was discussed that I'm not privy to. 6 tickets, 4 tickets, and we all save a collective, $5 each. I don't know what that's about and why, but you put all those together and it does feel like maybe they're just trying to do anything that moves the needle. Because what is it, Barry? You probably don't remember this either. I always forget, but a lot of the promoters we've talked to over the years, I mean, it's something like if you don't sell 20 or 30% of your capacity in the first month or 3 weeks. It's something about the early sales are such an indicative number to the rest of the sale process that if you don't hit that, sweat it, dude.
Yeah, if you don't get your nut, as they call it, within the first little bit, then they start getting really, really nervous.
Yeah, because of all the reasons that should be somewhat obvious. That
it's funny you say that, because that reminds me, for some reason, Kiss is the one that I always think of. They were supposed to come to Ingle Stadium and didn't sell their nut and canceled. And everyone was like, Chattanooga can't even have Kiss.
Well, we had a few of those back 30, 40 years ago that got canceled because the sales didn't hit certain numbers. And that seems to be less of an issue these days in the present day, but I've always heard that. I've always been told. So I'm wondering if maybe that early number wasn't hit, and this is a way to generate more social media activity and more discussion and more podcast fodder and more Reddit discussion, and maybe that picks up sales. I hope it works. That's what I want. Even if the sales are exactly where you want them to be, I want this thing to sell every ticket that you have available, Bonnaroo. I absolutely do.
And I think, Russ, you said it. I mean, we had more entries than ever, and not just entries, passionate
Yeah.
entries.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's not what you would expect if ticket sales are down so much that it just seems like there'd be less interest overall. There's a lot of interest. So.
Yeah. And like I said last week, it's not like, again, we walked by the grocery store and put our, name on a ticket and put it in a bucket.
Yeah.
It's people who really, really wanted to win. So anyway.
The only other thing I want to mention to tickets is I've actually had this on my list for a few, maybe upwards of a month, and I haven't gotten to it. Is there's been discussion on socials about people inquiring about warranties and the additional like safety on tickets
for the ticket insurance.
Yeah, ticket insurances and things like that. And this is just one man's opinion, so without any kind of agendas or any involvement with anything, I always steer clear of warranties and extended insurances. I don't mean the traditional insurances. I mean like the extended, like the AFLAC, right? The AFLAC version of coverage. And I think people are there's a lot of worry, younger people who haven't done this a lot, so they're getting anxiety, like, oh my God, what happens if this happens? What happens if that happens? Man, if you worry yourself crazy, I would not do that. If you're just listening to one guy talking to a microphone, don't worry about the warranties. Don't worry about the extended sales. If anybody's trying to sell you anything additional, because it's fear mongering on something that happened a year ago that I'm sorry if I'm jinxing it, it ain't happening again. And if it does, what?
This is like when you go to Walmart and you buy a TV and they ask you, "Oh, do you want to add the extended protections?" Like, no, don't ever. Yeah.
Well, speaking of industry stuff, all the money, especially in electronics, the big bucks are the extended warranties and all this additional money. That's where the sales guys make their money. They don't make the money on they don't make the money on the TV. So I just wouldn't. The biggest point is don't be spooked. And don't spend your time worrying about that, because if something terrible happens that ruins the whole festival, you're going to get your money back. Bronner has proved that. Now, if you can't trust yourself and you buy a ticket and then you might end up, in Canada the next day and like, oh, I don't know if I can make it, or, you wake up in a ditch every other week, I can't help you there. But don't be scared by it, I would say. And I guess if you can get 4 people together and you want to save $5 each, go ahead.
I guess $5 won't even buy you a beer in Bonnaroo anymore.
No, and the only thing I could come up with on that quickly is that the service fees for each transaction. So maybe you're only having one service fee for the 4 and 6, but I mean, we fixed this problem legislatively in the state of Tennessee to where those service fees are not what they used to be. It's not like they jump up $70 at checkout. So anyway,
they have to be up front. That's right. That isn't a law in Tennessee that every fee and every tax or whatever has to be up front on the price.
Yeah. And to the credit of our legislator, which doesn't do much right around here, that actually has been a very helpful law passed. So anyway, it might be good for you to buy those in bulk.
I mean, if you were planning to buy 4 anyways, I don't know why you wouldn't do the bulk deal, even though it's not really, saving you $20 total maybe. But
well, if you were planning to buy 4 anyways, you would have probably already done it. And the reason you haven't is because you don't have a lot of money, and saving $5 is just reminding you about how much money you don't have.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to translate to, oh, I wasn't going to buy 4 tickets, but now I am. Yeah.
And then one more quick one here on the 1 days. So they're ranging from the top end price from $180 to $350, meaning after any fees, because there are taxes at the end. They don't have to tell you every dime, but about $180 to $350. They have a little collectible credential thing which I love these kinds of things. I think it's cool they offer these things. $180 to $350 would be more like the GA Plus stuff. $180 closer to just a regular GA. But I speaking of Rubus, you guys mentioned this earlier. Mentioned them with Totem. Charla posted on Reddit. I did not know this. I guess I don't know that it's true, but I believe that she does. That if you have a 1 day, and I've wondered about this, you can't get into Bonnaroo after midnight. So if you've got a Friday, I think this is known information. I just didn't know it. If you got a Friday one day and you're there all day having a big time, and you're in line at 12:55, and it turns into 12:01, and you're not through into Bonnaroo, then your bracelet won't scan.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that, and so get in early and stay all night, I say.
Yeah, they got to cut it off at some point. You know, it is just a one day. But if you're still in Bonnaroo past midnight, I mean, you could stay as long as you want.
I wouldn't think they'll come track you down.
They're not sending anybody to come check wristbands.
We don't think. But
didn't you do that once or twice early on, Brian? When you snuck in, didn't you not have a wristband early?
The first year, I was just scared enough and like nervous enough that I didn't want to push my luck. And I think that year it didn't matter at all. I don't think anything mattered.
No.
But I didn't have a wristband. I was just trying to maneuver my way through. But I've also wondered, like, okay, you got these guys, they buy a 1-day ticket. Who's going to make them leave?
Yeah.
You know, they can just hang out in Bonnaroo the whole weekend.
As long as you don't go outside the perimeter.
As long as they don't scan out. Yeah. I mean, and
like
what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to buy spicy pie and they're going to spend more money, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you go into Bonnaroo on Friday and then you never leave.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a very good experience. You want to leave Bonnaroo at some point, but but there are worse places to spend a lot of your time. So anyway, a lot of tickets.
Let us know if you've done this. If you bought a 1-day ticket before and stayed all weekend, we want to talk to you. Yeah, leave a comment.
I want to hear all about different people's ways of kind of skirting around the system.
We still need to get Sean back on to talk about that year.
Oh my God. Sean, boy, we don't have enough time in the world to reset all this one, but our buddy here in local media in Chattanooga just came up one day and ended up in every single area.
He made it his mission. He was like, I'm going to see just how far I can get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
And he did.
He made a video. I'll try to send it to you. Maybe we can link it. Or you might already have it, Taco, but it was.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah.
It was so impressive. It's like you've gone to places I've never seen, and you don't even barely have even a regular GA. Like it was wild. It was wild.
He showed up at our camp.
I'm a YouTuber. I'm YouTubing. I'm gonna be a big YouTube star one day. And this is
YouTubing right now?
I'm YouTubing right now. How do you high fives to Bonnaroo for the YouTube? Camp Nut Butter.
Which he shouldn't have been able to get to.
No, he shouldn't have
And
been
then he was like, I think I'm just going to make this my mission.
Yeah. And just, for disclosure on this, he was with Camp Nut Butter for years and years and years.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so he knew where to go. He just didn't have the credentials that year. But he knew exactly where to go.
Yeah, he's out of the media business for the most part these days, and Mr. Mom for the most part. But that was so funny.
It was great.
I
remember standing. Was it you and I, Russ, were standing there, or was it you and me, Brian? We turned around and there he was in the pit.
It seemed like everywhere I went all weekend, I kept seeing the guy. That was funny stuff. We will have him on to talk about that sometime. But
back to 1 day real quick. They're not doing Thursday 1 day. And I guess because Thursday isn't a full day of programming, it's kind of a lower scheduled day. So if you want to see Skrillex, you have to buy a 4-day.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe that's part of their reasoning too.
Also, no late night on Thursday, so like the late night schedule looks a lot smaller because it is smaller. The whole festival footprint is. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. All right. You are about to hear our interview with our contest winner, Kira and Tyler. Congratulations to them. What a journey. What a story.
And don't hate them. Don't hate them for their approach, because there was no rules here. There were no regulations. It's you do you, and we'll go from there.
I mean, is there anything missing? They're getting married. They're pregnant. I mean, what do we?
I know. I
trials
feel
and
like
tribulations within the life. There's
I feel like
there's
we've
love,
lived a whole life with them because of just how much
Brian,
we've
I
gone
think you
through.
said it was like a reality show.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
It's an
It is
interesting
wild.
journey, and we'll definitely get to that here momentarily.
Kira, in the history of the What podcast, I don't think we've ever had as much attention as you've given us.
I felt you all deserved it. Truly.
It's truly amazing. I mean, your grandmother, your boss, your neighbor, who didn't call?
I mean, last year, the year before, I always talk about Bonnaroo at work. So all my coworkers, all my friends, all the people that are always around me, they know that I love Bonnaroo. So as soon as I told them I was trying for this, they were like, "Give me the number and I will call."
They did. I pulled the sheet, and Kira, you called 38 times. Tyler, I think 2 or 3. 10 other people called on your behalf. You made a video. You made a PowerPoint. So, yeah, and this wasn't a, stuff the ballot box, whoever,
No.
calls in the most. That's not what made you the winner. It's just your story and persistence and
Your grandmother.
your grandmother.
That's what
Yeah.
put it
Nobody
over
else
the top
had their
for
grandmother.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on the phone with my grandma, and it was after I had told her about it. I'd sent her your all's number, and then the next week, whenever you all had posted the podcast, she didn't answer when I called, so I left her a voicemail to call me back because I was in your all's podcast. And she said before she called me back, she made sure to call so that I wasn't mad at her for not calling.
Well, and it's not just that you called because you wanted to get these tickets, but you've had some pretty significant life-changing events that we've talked about or you shared with us on this show, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is one hell of a story arc. It's almost like when like those reality shows occasionally where they start and then things happen throughout, and then it's like, is that real? Like, did that really, like, the real life happen like that throughout? And usually the answer to that in those cases is yes. And it appears that this is a version of that. It starts here, it gets to the middle here, and here we are at the not the end. The end would be when you're at Bonnaroo, but what an interesting start to finish to this whole thing, Kira. If you just talk about your mindset going into it, I guess it would be December. Like, what are you thinking in the middle of December? I'll do this exact thing for the next month and a half, or this is just how it happened.
Yeah. Let me plan this out.
Honestly, I saw that you had posted again. You started talking about Bonnaroo, and I was like, you know what? Let me just keep tuning in because I know I can't afford to go this year, but I still want to hear the story. I want to know what's going on. And then I heard about the contest from you guys, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep calling. I mean, like what's that saying? Squeaky wheel gets the cheese or something like that. I don't know the saying, but I was trying. Okay.
I don't think that's it, but okay.
No, I don't know what the saying is, but you know what I'm getting at. But as far as like my pregnancy announcement, I definitely did not see that coming. Tyler and I didn't think that we could have kids. We did not think that was in the works for us with my health issues. So, yeah, really excited.
We didn't see it coming either.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just sitting there and I was like, you know what, maybe I should go take a test. And I called Tyler first, and then I called my best friend, and then I think I called you guys. So
That's high up on the priority list.
We're glad you're on your list.
yeah,
Yeah,
love you
Brian's
guys.
gotten those calls before.
Yeah, they weren't welcome. They weren't welcome calls.
Sorry, that's a bad phone call. Yeah, to walk us through. I mean, we're making light of it a little bit, but 30. What'd you say, Russ? 38.
38.
times?
38 just from Kira.
Just from Gira, and it'd be like I just called you before. I'm on break at lunch, and I called you this morning.
Almost daily, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. So yeah, it was almost like a daily, like a not like a soap opera, but like, oh, what's the next thing that's going to happen? And so we went through ups, we went through downs. I feel like we kind of lived part of your life with you this past month.
Yeah,
just because of the daily check-in.
yeah, I mean, I remember one time I called you guys one morning because there was a really pretty sunset or sunrise.
Yep.
Yeah, it was, like, really pink, and I'm like, "Man, I remember watching the sunrise at Bonnaroo, I should call them." Like, everything reminds me about Bonnaroo, so I just call you guys.
Well, there's a big trend online with targeted ads. Most anybody of certain ages, the older you get, you're going to get more of them. I don't know. I guess young people would get them too, but like that therapy session kind of stuff, right? Like click here and get your life fixed through therapy or whatever. And as I was listening to some of these, I was like, this kind of sounds like Kira's like check in, just just a wellness check overall. Happy to be the lifeline on the other end that can help. And then clearly, there's a carrot at the end of that stick that it's a little more than just, we're not your therapist. I'm not trying to say that.
We are not licensed, by the way. We are not qualified in any way to give advice or therapy or anything like that.
Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting.
You
approach.
Sure don't want it from Brian either.
No,
Yeah,
you don't.
You don't need any therapy from either of us.
No.
What is it though? Let's talk about what is it about Bonnaroo? It's not just us. I mean, obviously, we want you to tell us why you love this show so much, and we'll get to that because
I think that's
what
a big part of
really
it.
want to hear. But
Yeah.
no, what is it about Bonnaroo? Why Bonnaroo? What's so special about Bonnaroo?
I'd honestly never been to a music festival until I'd gone to Bonnaroo, and the first time I went was in 2024. My brother was actually supposed to be going with his friend solely just to go see the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and his friend sadly had to back out. And I told my brother, like, I'll go. Okay. I had never heard of Bonnaroo before. Never. Like, the only music festivals I really knew of was Louder Than Life and Bourbon and Beyond, and that's just because they're right in my backyard. But yeah, my brother told me, let's go. So I worked an 18-hour shift the night before the Red Hot Chili Peppers at Bonnaroo. We drove straight there. And I mean, I had like hardly no sleep. And I just remember walking in, I was so exhausted. And it just kind of like the energy and the camaraderie between everybody, I just really needed that because, life's hard, family's hard, friendship's hard. And I felt like when I was there, none of that mattered because I felt like I was part of it. Like I didn't have to go up and talk with somebody for 30 minutes to feel welcomed. Like I just was. And grief kind of played a big role in that. My sister and my dad got me into a lot of music. And when my dad passed, that really hurt me. But when my brother and I went to go fill up our water bottle, there was a spray paint on one of like the water fill up stations, and it said it had the word dragons on it. So I was like, I feel like I'm meant to be here. Like I'm meant to meet these people. I'm meant to have this experience, and I'm meant to listen to this music. So it just kind of drew me in.
Quickly expand dragons. Does that have a special meaning specifically to you and or your dad or other family members?
Yeah, when my dad was growing up, he went into the military, and every time he like had a big life altering experience, he got a dragon tattoo. So he joined the military, he got a dragon tattoo. I was born, he got a dragon tattoo. My brother was born, he got a dragon tattoo. It was just everything about that. So it literally said live like dragons on the water fill up station. And I saw that and I had to take a picture of it. I think I put it in my PowerPoint for you guys. But yeah, it felt like a message.
That's really cool. I'm guessing he might have been a Game of Thrones fan too, then maybe with all the dragons, or not his.
He was a little bit of a nerd. He played Dungeons and Dragons, which so
okay. There you go.
That's okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Well, to speak to one of your, and I only heard a handful of your submissions, but you spoke very highly of, and I can't remember the context of Noah Khan and the headlining closer on Sunday. And there's a lot of debate on these headliners in all the Reddit threads and all the podcasts. You seem to be quite excited about this. This means more potentially than just a random show, if you would speak to that.
Yeah, Noah Khan, he has a few songs, some of which that really resonated with me. with my grief when I was grieving because I really clung on to music during that time. And I feel like he's just really raw and he talks about some of the hard things that not everyone can really put into words. And I feel like he just does that so beautifully. Like his music really touches me. Like I cannot wait for his show.
Tell me about, I mean, again, we mentioned the fact that you had so many people reach out on your behalf, and we've talked about that in the last month or so. Not just you. We've been amazed at all the applicants, the entries for these tickets, the people that have reached out, not just for themselves, but for other people. And you said you talked to, you're like us. Our friends are tired of hearing us talk about Bonnaroo 365 days a year. It's like, shut the hell up, man. Get over it.
Yeah, we get it.
What is it about that? Why do you do it? I know why I do it, but why do you talk about it all the time?
I feel like I talk about it all the time because, I mean, really, before I started going to Bonnaroo, I didn't go on vacations. That wasn't something that I prioritized or really had in my time or my money wise. But last year, I made it happen. I had gotten a raise last year, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go again this year, and I'm going to make it. I'm going to go all the days. We showed up on Tuesday, and we were there until Friday afternoon whenever, the storm came. But
Yep.
yeah, I feel like I talk about it all the time because it's something that I look forward to. Like, just even it's just a connectability with everybody and the music. I love music, I love people, and just being able to feel like I'm welcomed, so it just makes me wanna talk about it because the more people that know, maybe the more people will feel this joy and this passion that I have for it.
I think you just said this, Kira, but sorry, I was looking down at notes as you were talking. You did go last year, the
Yes.
25 year.
Yep. Yep.
What quickly your experience of that? You got their win and getting out of there, and your experience with last year's Bonnaroo, if you would.
So I told you all about 24. I went with my brother. So after we went to that, and as soon as we left, my brother and I were like, we got to go next year. And I was like, for sure, we got to go next year. And so me and my brother and Tyler, we planned a trip, and we bought gear together. We planned all year. And we packed our cars together. We drove down there. Ty and I actually left a day early and rented a houseboat on a lake so that we could cut our drive in half to not make our car like overheat or anything. So that was fun. But yeah, we got there Tuesday, super excited. My brother had a lot of car issues, so that was kind of nerve wracking. We were in line, like, in different like, I think at a school, and they were, like, waiting, to have people go into Bonnaroo for the security, and my brother's car wouldn't turn on. His car
Oh
overheated.
no.
No.
Yeah, so we lost our place in line. That was really stressful. My brother thought maybe, if he can't get his car running, he's not gonna be able to go, so we were trying to figure out, like, "Well, I'm not missing it, bub. I'm sorry, but I'm getting in there, like like, I'll try and help you figure out how to get your stuff
Yeah.
home, like, I'll figure that out for you, but I'm going into that place." Um,
And where
anyway,
did y'all
Luckily-
drive from?
we drove from Southern Indiana, New Albany, Indiana, which is right across the bridge from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you got there Tuesday, so that gave you time to work on the car issue. When did you got settled in on the farm? Tuesday or Wednesday?
We got in there Tuesday. I made it happen.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, the car side people brought him some more oil because I think he just burnt through his oil because he didn't get like a houseboat like we
Ace.
did. He drove straight through, so his car just got really hot, and waiting in that line, he had his car running, so it just overheated. But we got his car better, and we babied it all the way through that line. Got stuck in the mud before we got to security. That was an experience. Yeah, we had a police escort because they knew that our car had broke. So they told us as soon as we got our car fixed, they'd take us up past some of the line.
Wow.
And they did, which we were thankful for. Yeah, we got in there and we camped in Plaza 2. It was so great. We were like right by Where in the Woods. We were right by the bathroom station. It was great. We loved our location.
And so you had Tuesday evening, I would guess, and then all day Wednesday. I'm sure that was, I mean, the weather was great, so I'm sure you had a good day. Then Thursday, we all had a great day. I'm guessing you did too, right?
Yes.
Weather is good, saw music.
Yeah.
And then Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Friday. We did. Ty and I was honestly on the edge a little bit last year because I knew he was gonna propose. I wasn't. I knew what he had going. I just didn't know when. Like, Thursday night, I was like, "Maybe he's gonna do it at the closing concert. Maybe he's gonna do it then," and then he didn't do it Thursday. So I was like, "Alright, I bet he's waiting until, like, Tyler, the Creator or something." I don't know. But I was nervous, but, we woke up Friday and we went to, the Grove and we saw the harpist, and that was really fun. We got to see more of her show because the day before we had only saw a small part of it. And so we spent Friday morning just kinda laying on a blanket, eating some snacks, and listened to the harpist, and it was beautiful. And then right as we get back to the camp, it started to sprinkle.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm,
And we
I'm
were
getting bad memories coming back to that
Yeah.
Friday morning. That Friday morning
Yeah.
was a great morning.
It
Yeah,
was
it was great.
beautiful. It was beautiful until it wasn't, but
It's the calm before the storm.
yeah, it was definitely an experience. But I know that, my brother and Ty had actually left to go to Walmart to get us some more water and, like, a few extra knickknacks that we thought that we needed. And, I was at the campsite alone when the first big rain came, and we had, like, a big 10 by 20 pop-up, and we only had, like, some of our walls down. So I'm going around by myself, like, trying to tie these walls together and put my blanket up to get the rain out of there and moving all of our stuff inside. It was definitely an experience. And then they got back and they were like, "Oh, man." And then more rain came. So,
And getting out of how was getting out? Just and we can fast forward to that part. Getting out and getting home, was that a long difficult trek, or did you get lucky and get out okay?
we actually got pretty lucky, my Tyler and I did. My brother actually decided he wanted to stay and see if they weren't gonna cancel. But the people, our
No, we
neighbors.
all did.
Yeah. The neighbors right next to us, they were like, "I think they're gonna cancel. We've gone to music festivals for 20-something years, and I don't think this is gonna happen." And Tyler at the time, we had just gotten this car. We had been without a car for about a year because our car had broke down, and we just had been trying to save money to get a new one. We had just gotten this car, and we did not wanna risk getting stuck. So, as soon as, like, the delays kept coming, we were like, "You know what? We should get out of here before it gets dark, before it gets even more muddy." And so Tyler and I left about an hour before they announced the entire cancellation.
I have lots of questions for you, Tyler. You know what you clearly know what you're in for, right? I mean, that you got a special woman right there.
Yes, I do. I know that for a fact. Yeah.
She's kind of tenacious. Is that the word?
That's
Yep.
one word. Obsessive could be another.
Yeah. Are you at all surprised by any of this?
When she first called me after I think she got the phone with you, Barry, she said that you called. I was like, no way. And she's like, yeah, we won. And I was just like, there's no way that we won. We don't win anything like this. So we're like, there's no way. So she sent me a screenshot of the call. I was like, damn, we really won. It was crazy. It was mind-boggling. Like we had.
But go back to December when this whole journey starts. Were you thinking, "Oh God, Kira, just give it up already," or what was your mindset at the beginning?
After like the first week, I was like, all right, I think that's enough calling. But she was like, no, I'm calling every day.
That was only
Getting
what,
started.
Just
5,
getting
6,
started.
10.
I was like, if we're gonna win, they're gonna win from the first 5. Then she's like, I'm making a PowerPoint or not power. Yeah,
I made a
PowerPoint. She made a
Yeah.
video. I had no idea of the video. She told me she was making a video, but I didn't know it was like dedicated to me. That shocked me. I didn't know until y'all uploaded it. Then I actually got to watch it fully. So I was like, damn, that took me back on that. But with her, like I said, when she makes her mind up on something, she follows through. She doesn't back down from anything.
Yeah, and when she said that you guys were engaged, my question was, does Tyler know? And then when she said I'm pregnant, my question was, does Tyler know? Are we first?
Yeah, honestly, I was surprised that when I saw that episode, I was like, yeah, I know. But I was sure she was going to call you guys first. Almost. I know.
So I'm curious, Tyler, when last year is coming together and Kira's saying she's, I don't know, feels it in her bones, or I don't know if there was like rose petals giving some kind of like message or something that you would propose last year. What was your plan? Clearly, it got axed because of the weather, but what was your plan that weekend for that?
So the plan was on Facebook, I found somebody that does photography. So we made up a plan then. We're going to do it by the Ferris wheel on Friday. It was the day of the cancellation. We are going to do it after what was the first concert we were going to go watch Friday? I can't remember.
Leon Thomas.
Yeah, after Leon Thomas, we were going to go over towards the Ferris wheel, probably eat. She was going to meet me at the
Ferris wheel.
not the Ferris wheel. It was right on the other side of the Ferris wheel. It was like a booth. I can't remember the name of that booth.
I'm not sure.
Then she was gonna like follow me to Kira. Then she was gonna get a bunch of photos and all that stuff right in front of the Ferris wheel.
So you were just hours away from this.
Yeah.
Hours away. I bet you were. I bet your insides were turning, man.
Oh yeah, it was not a fun day. Like after we got out, there's a church parking lot not too far away from the entrance to Bonnaroo. We pulled in there and we just kind of lost it for a minute there. We were just in there talking like she knew. She knew it was coming.
That's a lot of stress. Think about it. That's what you're going at, Brian. I mean, we were all stressed about the festival, and you got this going on too.
You got to find the photographer. You got to meet at the right places. You've only been there one time, so it's not like you know the. Yeah, it's not like you know the landscape all that well, and then you get a little bit of weather in the forecast. Yeah, that'd be a pretty stressful damn day.
Oh yeah, it was very stressful. Like,
but you went ahead and went through and did the proposal later outside of Bonnaroo, and now the story.
I think it was a couple weeks after Bonnaroo.
22nd of June.
22nd of June. It was a big party with my family at Hardy Lake. It was a birthday party, I believe.
Your brothers.
My little brothers, yeah. So we did it there. My little sister kind of blew the whistle on it though. We were all out swimming and whatnot, and Ray was like, "Let's go do it now." I'm like, We're swimming. What are you talking about? We'll do it later. But we got back to where we were set up the picnic table and everything, and everybody's eyes was on Kira. And they had their phones out. They were like trying to be nonchalant, but they were like this the whole time on Kira. So they kind of blew the whistle. She knew it was coming, but at least it got done.
All right, obvious question. What does it mean to you to win these tickets?
It's a redemption for us to go back again and have the full experience. Hopefully no weather comes in this time, but it means a lot, especially for me, just because I know how much it means to her. The community to her, it's everything. The whole atmosphere, she absorbs it in, the whole thing, the whole experience. I just can't believe we won.
That's cool.
But it does. It means a lot to us.
It's especially cool since, I mean, really only a couple of years you've been, right? 1.5.
Well, I've only been one time. That was my first time. She's been twice. But I've been to Louder in Life a couple times, but that's a whole separate.
Yeah, and I got maybe one more for you real quick, Kira, that I noticed you were talking about that if you didn't win the tickets that you probably wouldn't be able to go. Referencing just a couple of the reasons you said that, a lot of people are dealing with this across the country. Student loans are, been reactivated through a lot of different reasons. And you were picking up a bunch of overtime and a bunch of other things, and the math wasn't adding up for you. It doesn't sound like. So we just got done talking about the tickets and just sales and how much they cost and all those things, and nothing's getting cheaper. So you were working your behind off to try to figure out a way, right? But it didn't look like the math was going to work.
No, I feel like all my overtime right now really goes towards me paying off my debt. So I'm paying off my student loans. I had finished half of my bachelor's degree, but my dad got really sick. And when he got sick, I just couldn't handle taking care of him and going to school and working. So one had to give, and the only one that could give was school. And it
Yeah,
really sucked
that's
because
understandable. Yeah.
yeah, it was not fun. I'm a very studious person. I loved learning. I've always been like the straight A student, tried my hardest, and I'm dyslexic, so it doesn't come the easiest to me. I have to really fight for it, but I love learning. But yeah, I couldn't do that and I couldn't pay the student loan, like continue school. So now I'm paying my student loans. But after my dad passed, I had gone to get some help at a mental facility. And during that time, I was using a credit card to pay my bills. Cause, at that point, the only thing that really mattered was making sure that I could be okay. So now
Yeah.
I'm paying off that credit card. I'm paying 2 payments a month and I'm paying 1 payment towards my student loans. So it's like I pay more in with those 3 bills than I do in rent every month. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
I just knew that I was not gonna be able to swing it, and I had gotten a different job last year, a promotion, um, and why I was kind of able to afford it last year, but, like, the stress and the pressure of that job just became a little bit too much for me, so I no longer am in that position, which is why I work all this overtime to make sure that I can pay my bills and I have a little extra, but that little extra would not have been enough to suffice to go to Bonnaroo.
Well, so many of your coworkers just talked very highly about how hard you work and how much they enjoy working with you. And I was blown away by that. I don't think any of us would have that many people that we work with that would say anything nice about us. So that was pretty amazing.
Yeah. I'm definitely thankful for my work family. They know everything that
Yeah.
I've been through, and they know how hard I work. Like, I am such a team player, and like I said, my first year that I went, I worked that 18-hour shift. I only worked that 18-hour shift to ensure that my team and my department looked good for when our higher ups came. That's all I was worried about. I was like, if you all are gonna let me go to this, I'm gonna make sure that we're gonna ace this walk. Our management and our leaders are gonna know that our department is good, and I'm gonna make sure of that before I leave to go to Bonnaroo, and that's exactly what I did.
Sounds like you're doing it right.
Yeah, and your boss called. She said she would give you the time off for Bonnaroo, so
Yeah.
you've been approved for that. I'm sure you
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah. Double check with AR though. People just kind of say stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just made one note, and you can just make it as long or as little of a commentary on it. But you said your last submission, according to your phone call, would have been January 6th. And then there was like 20 more after that immediately.
It was not your last.
So
Yeah.
just comments. That's all. Just make it not even a question.
Yeah, I think for a little bit, once I heard you all talk about how many submissions you were getting,
There
I
were
was
a
like,
lot.
"Man, there's no way I'm winning this." I was like, "There's no way." And I kinda got down on myself. I'm like, "I don't know if all my calling and all my ideas are gonna work because of how many submissions you all had." And I even remember hearing one of your all submissions, his story moved me, and I was like, "If I don't win, I hope he wins." So
Felipe, right?
Felipe,
right?
yeah, I loved
Yeah.
his story, and it really it made me cry, and, yeah, I went through ups and downs calling you guys, but then every time I saw the podcast, I was just like the adrenaline that I had, I cannot express to you.
Yeah, some days you'd call and you were upbeat and happy, and some days you were kind of down and just kind of thinking,
This is
things
what I
aren't going to
meant by
work out.
the daily therapy check-in.
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
what it kind of felt
It
like.
was like
It's like
a
today,
mental health check. Yeah.
she is killing it today. But today, I don't know. I hope she's all right. I think she's fine, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just joking with you and having fun with you. I think it was a hell of an approach. You won, right? So what else? do you need?
Congratulations. Congratulations to you both.
It honestly still doesn't feel real that we won or that we're expecting. It all I just feel like I need to pinch myself a little bit.
I think we have a couple of surprises for you, which I've talked to you about off air and we won't talk about here, but I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the farm. Looking forward I don't know what, pregnant in June is going to look like, but
5 months.
that's not my problem. It's your
5
Yeah.
months. Yeah.
September 17th, right? Isn't that you said your due date is? So
Yeah, September
awesome.
17th.
You should be just fine on time. I'm no doctor, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
it
in my
won't bother
second
me.
Yeah. I don't know if Barry told you, but one of the stipulations for winning this was that we get to name your baby.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, what's your options here? Maybe we'll consider it.
Brian Jr. Sorry, Tyler. Sorry.
Congratulations to you both. Can't think of any. I mean, this was the hardest decision in some ways, and in some ways not. We had so many good applications or entries, but I think you guys were the clear winners. So
we went through a lot of entries, and there's a lot that we considered, and there's a lot that we're deserving, I think.
No, just looking forward to see you guys on the farm, and hopefully we have a wonderful weather and a good overall time. I am fully confident that we will, so I look forward to that.
Definitely excited to see you guys on the farm. We watched you all do your all's podcast at the farm last year.
Oh, okay, nice, yeah.
Oh, you were there, cool.
Yeah, we were sitting on a couch.
Nice,
very cool.
Yep.
Big show, a lot to talk about this week. They were great. Looking forward to seeing those guys on the farm. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the farm. Don't know what we have coming up. I mean, we need to sort of reset now that we've got the contest behind us.
Yeah, with everything so early, it's just kind of changed the scheduling up. But happy to get to be moving on into past the contest, and thank you everybody for joining in and playing along and being so passionately creative with it too. That's really cool stuff. Yeah. But Kira's story kind of rose above, and sucks. It's only one pair. It's all we can do.
I know. Well, and if you didn't win, we still interested in hearing from you. You could leave a comment. You keep calling. Tell us if you do manage to make it to the farm. We'd love to see you. There's a lot of people that we felt like could have deserved this. And like I mentioned before, Totem might be one avenue to get some of these people able to be on the farm. It was a tough decision. It really was.
Or just find those boxes in a grocery store that says, enter to win now for Bonnaroo. Yeah. And you won't win that one, but you might as well go ahead and put your name in it.
I reached out to Dan Sievers. He's the guy. Thanks to Dan. He's the guy that gives us the tickets. And I reached out and sent him an email, Russ, to your point, and just shared with him that I don't think of all of the entries that we got, did anybody mention they wanted to win because they wanted to see XYZ band? If they did, it was like an afterthought.
A couple. I mean, it wasn't certainly the main thing that people want that was driving people to go. One person called in and said she wanted to come because she wanted to do Molly, and that's we're not helping with that. But
hey, give me a ring. I can get you some of that. I don't know how good a stuff it is, but we don't have to go to Bonnaroo.
Yeah, but to your point, it seems like the headliners or any of the artists, none of them were the main drivers.
It was about the farm and the experience.
Yes.
That's my point. It was about just the environment, the community, and everything like that,
and the Molly,
and the Molly.
Just hope that stuff's not cut up real bad with a bunch of junk. Fentanyl. We'll be careful with that stuff.
All right, good show. Thank you guys.